I like the podcast Raw Dog.
Yeah, you don't use protection?
No protection.
I use protection every time.
Who uses protection every time? It's this week's guest on the Endless Honeymoon podcast. I'm Moshe Kasher.
Natasha Leggero.
And that voice you're hearing, that's the one and only Pignut Bubble himself, Brent Weinbach.
Brent has a song out with Doug Pound that is called Pignut Bubble, and our daughter is always requesting it. And she's always requesting the video, which you're in.
But I do have some bad news for you. I was going through my Instagram the other day, and our kid was peering over my shoulder, and Doug came up, and she goes, "Is that Doug?" I swear. I was like,
really?
Yeah, it was like.
How does she? Because of the video?
She's never met him.
Yeah.
So he's a big deal for her now.
Yeah.
But wait, look at something of mine for her to peer over.
Here's the deal.
I'm curious.
The problem with that, Brent, is that you don't have the sparkle factor that Doug does. No, the problem with that.
How about now?
Okay, yeah, now you got it.
Look at, do I have the sparkle factor
Oh, you
now?
got that sparkling.
Am I sparkling?
The problem is that she already knows you. She's like, that's Brent. She's met you a bunch of times.
Does she feel that blasé about me?
She's like, Brent, you're your friend Brent. But Doug is the Pignut Bubble guy.
Because there's mystique for him.
There's mystery. Yeah.
Interesting. I gotta stop hanging out here.
You gotta stop hanging out with our child.
I gotta not know you anymore, and then maybe I can get some more attraction going here.
Do you think Blippy always wanted to be like for kids?
I know
Absolutely
for sure he was not. Do you
Oh,
know about Blippy?
No, I just know that I've actively avoided it.
I know
and
about.
I've succeeded. My daughter does not like it.
That's good. I know about Blippy because of my
story.
nephew. But did you know that before he did kids stuff on YouTube, he was He was trying to go for shock videos.
What?
There's a video of him.
This is great stuff you're about to learn, Natasha, just so you know.
This is a video of him, this beloved, hugely popular kids guy.
This is a hot, steamy secret you're about to hear about.
There's
Blippy.
a video of him standing on a toilet naked and shooting poo from his butt
Defecato.
and I would say it's on the diarrhea-esque
Stop
on the
it.
diarrhea
consistency.
Wait,
yeah.
you can watch this on YouTube?
No, you have to find it on something like archive.org or something.
He's had it scrubbed. The Blippy Empire.
Shooting that load.
Diarrhea.
Hot diarrhea
Hot,
load.
Stop it.
Hot brown load onto the chest. Brown load onto the chest of another completely naked man.
You're tuned into the Brent Brown load.
Wait, I'm curious. Was this like a porn situation, or was this was
No.
like Jackass
Jackass.
gone sexual or something?
It wasn't even supposed to be sexual, I think, even though it's hard to not think of it as sexual. When I see brown, I'm thinking boners, right?
Yeah, you're thinking Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I'm
You're
thinking.
"Auga."
I'm thinking. Did somebody just go defecate in here, or am I just hot? Or something, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever that is, whatever that means. And it's outrageous. But he was trying to do a Jackass type thing, I think.
And how did he fall into the annoying parents and kids loving him?
I think he just saw some kids show or some kid video on YouTube, and it was getting a lot of traction.
And he pitched to his agent. He's like, in this video, I diarrhea on the kid. And they're like, we don't think that's got legs. So then he just started riffing, right?
Yeah. And he's like, okay, well, what other stuff can I do with kids? He's like, well, I don't think you could do anything with kids. I think maybe you act as like a kid, and you just, check stuff out.
He
wear
just
colors.
sold his empire for, I heard, like something like, how much?
I mean, it's probably $1 billion or something,
No.
right? I don't
Yes.
know, something like that.
Yeah, like $1 billion.
And so he was just a
He-
third-rate perv.
Blippy's
I think
billions.
he's just always been trying to just be viral in some kind of way,
Right.
and then
literally
he saw.
in the first video.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
And then he saw these kids' videos on YouTube and thought he could do that too, and then that took
But
off.
spraying diarrhea
I don't know the whole story.
on someone's chest,
It's
that's
bad.
questionable.
Yeah, we
It's-
think so.
It's pretty crazy that he became as popular as he did with that video out there.
Now, you're trying to go viral, Brent. Brent, you're one of the great comedians.
Thank you.
Brent has gone viral.
He has
with
gone
his
viral
party
many
line.
times. But Gangster Party Line, with Ultimate Drumming Technique, with Mind Jack. You've had a lot of very viral
And
videos.
now Pignut Bubble
And now Pignut
with the
Bubble?
youngsters for the youngsters.
Oh, featuring Doug. And but lately you've been you like Blippy have figured out where the money is, and that's in your new hobby at looking at license plates.
Oh, come on. I don't
Hey,
think we
come
should
on.
talk about this because it's so boring.
Brent's warned me that this is going to be so boring. We're probably going to edit it out of the
No,
podcast.
this
This
is
is probably
what
going to be edited out.
This is what happens when you don't have a cell phone. Brent doesn't have a
You
cell
just stare
phone.
at license plates?
So he's got like these weird hobbies that he does on his computer.
Wait,
No,
I'm
this
assuming.
is not a computer thing. It's an out in the world thing.
Or out in the
It's
world.
it's like bird watching, but it's plate watching.
Okay, you
And
go plate watching?
I've got a little crew now.
You have a posse?
Yeah,
Who's in it? Doug?
no, some guys you don't know.
Guys you don't know?
Wait, you
Yeah.
have a license plate
Some
crew?
boys you don't know.
Do you guys walk or do you drive around?
Well, we haven't. We stand around.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. You've collected a group of other friends to go watch
Well,
license plates in the wild?
I got into it at first by
Solo?
myself, and then I started talking about it to people
Who? And in what format?
out on the street.
No, that's a joke.
I mean, I was on the street when it's not a joke. I was on the street when I talked to these young boys.
Wait, who are
They're not
these
young
people?
boys. They're guys. They're
Are they
young guys.
random people
No,
that
no,
were
no.
walking
They're
by?
friends. They're friends.
Okay, so you had a friend come over and then you guys went for a
Not
walk.
come over, but we were at an event, and it was after the event, and I started saying, oh, let me check out your plate here, and we started talking about it, and they seemed really interested.
I see.
And so then we started kind of getting more into it together, and now we share a lot.
Okay, I got it. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts here.
Wait, but hold
It's
on.
not interesting.
What's the goal? What are you looking for? A lot of L's?
No, no.
Well, sort of. I mean, that's not.
Well, hold
it's
on.
not as simple as that, but there's a lot to the license plate.
Well, I just wanted to say though that it's interesting to me that you thought this topic was too boring to bring
It's
up.
fascinating.
It's too boring to bring up on a podcast, but you were willing to pitch it to near strangers at a party.
They weren't strangers. They're not strangers.
I'm just saying, like, nothing about how boring you self-identified this as kept you from talking about it at a party.
Well, no, I didn't talk about it at a party. It was an exclusive group. That it wasn't like that. I kind of got the sense that they could be interested.
I
It
see.
wasn't the world,
you
That's
don't
Let
why.
me guess there's not a lot of people with children in the group.
Well, let me guess. There's not a lot of people who could bear children in the group.
Oh,
What, like they're old?
No, like they're men, all men.
oh yeah.
Oh, duh.
Well, hey, you've seen Junior,
Who's Junior?
the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito
Sure.
picture.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying that they can't bear children, but
Well, I'm just saying I have a feeling that a lot of that the license plate watchers club of Los Angeles
that's
doesn't
not
have,
what we're called.
doesn't have a lot of women.
We're called
in it.
the Plate Watchers Association of California.
Is this real?
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How could you have thought this wasn't interesting enough to
Because
put on a podcast?
it's so boring. Well, once I get in, I'm not going to do it.
No, but
once
will
I
you just
get
tell
in,
me what
Yeah,
you're
we wanna
looking
know.
for a
That-
little bit?
well, okay. What we're looking for are
Is it other states?
no. It's California
Oh, it
plates
has
only.
nothing
That's
to
why
do
it's
with other-
of California.
Okay, so you're only looking at California plates.
Yes, because there's
Are you okay?
there's a format.
No.
There's a format to the California plate,
Okay.
and it's interesting to know about. I don't
To
know.
talk-
I'm so apprehensive about getting
So
into it. 'cause
far,
you're gonna
this
think
has been good.
Okay,
okay,
one.
look.
Or
Fine.
what's been the most thrilling find?
Yeah, that's a great question, Natasha. What's the most exciting plate in the wild that you've seen?
I found a one once, and I
A
found,
one?
Yeah. Okay. If I get into it, this is gonna get boring.
Okay,
But
break it on down.
actually, yesterday I found a two, which was pretty cool. I wish I had the pictures on me
Wait,
to show you.
there's a
but-
ranking system?
yes, kind of.
Okay, tell us what it is.
In around 1979 or 1980,
Okay, I'm out. This is boring. I swear. No, go ahead.
the format for California plates, they started a new series,
Okay.
which is one number. This is going to be so boring.
No,
one
we're in.
number, 3 letters, and then 3 numbers. That's all plates.
Okay.
Not vanity plates, and not commercial or truck plates.
One number,
3 letters, and then 3 numbers.
Okay.
There's 7 characters.
What was it before that?
It was 3 numbers and then 3 letters.
I
Just it
remember
was
that.
six
I
characters.
had that 083 PGK.
Is that true?
That was my growing up one.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm serious.
Well, he's from
083 PGK.
California.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so it was a blue plate.
It was a blue plate.
What car was it?
It was a 1968 VW Bug.
A 19 what?
68 VW Bug.
Oh no, then that probably was a black plate, and it probably
Was not a black plate.
really.
Well, we had a blue plate.
What's up with those?
Oh,
black
then that was a
plates?
swap.
Well, the truth is,
So-
the 1968 VW Bug that I grew up with and my parents still have,
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother purchased it new from the showroom floor of the Volkswagen dealership in 1968. So it probably was a
That
swap.
probably was a black plate.
That
then.
probably was.
And that format was 3 letters, 3 numbers. So it was from 63. That's the earliest plate that they'll accept right now is 63.
Oh, what happens before that?
You have to get a historical plate or something like that or whatever.
083 PGK, you know how we would remember it? Pretty good kid.
Oh yeah, okay.
083, pretty good.
So it's
kid.
neat that there's acronyms that you can recognize and
Sure.
think about or whatever, but there's also words. Okay, so here's what I'm getting at. So 63 to about 70, it was black plates, and they were that format, the six characters.
Black plates, yellow writing.
Yellow writing, yeah. And before that, by the way, it was yellow plates with black writing.
I've seen it.
But you won't. Although, so apparently online, I've read that you can still see those out and about sometime on a rare
I've seen
occasion,
them.
but they're not valid.
So do you guys pick an intersection to go stand at?
No. Well, we did. We were standing at an intersection at one point, and we were kind of.
The association was.
Yeah.
Do you have a building, like a brick and mortar?
An office?
A brick and mortar location?
No, we're only online currently, but we are looking to expand.
And what percentage are you serious? Like, I know you really do this,
No,
but what percentage are you doing this that you really do care about?
It's just what I'm into right now for the last few months. Okay, it's not like it's a lifelong journey, and I might get bored of it soon, but.
Like our listeners.
Yes, exactly. I'm so sorry to everybody, whichever candidate
Honestly,
it is,
I'm finding this compelling.
Okay, at around in 70, they switched the format because they ran out of those combinations, and it was blue plates until about 1982.
They called it the Blue Plate Special.
Well, yeah, that's where it comes from. Yeah, and then so
Then they went white.
then they went white in 1982-ish.
Okay.
But the format, the number format or whatever, letter number format changed in 1980, around or 70 or 80. And that's when because they ran out of combinations. By adding the seventh, character, they made it so many more combinations. But so they started with one AAA000 around 1980.
Who's that? John Wayne? Ronald Reagan?
No, but I think, no.
No. John
Carter,
California?
I guess.
John California. It's got to be. Are you bored, Natasha?
I think we should
Move
switch
on.
topics. I'm more interested in what
Anyway,
makes someone do something like this than the actual thing.
Well, it's
Do you know
something
what
to
the
do
full
when you're
break-
in traffic. It's
We only
something to
got
look at.
2/3 of the information, though. Okay, so they went through all
Fine,
these
real
iterations.
quick.
What's a one?
A one is that first part of the first series that came out in 1980. So
and you found a one.
I spotted a one, but it was a swap. So meaning
swap.
a
That's
lot of
upsetting.
a car gets swapped when if they come from another state, they'll get a new plate, a California plate, and then that will make it look like they have a newer plate, but it's an older car. So
That's
I saw a car.
upsetting.
I
That's
saw a
like-
car from the 70s that had a newer plate.
That sucks. That's like seeing you're in the wild and you see a spotted leopard, and then you realize it's just a common leopard.
That's dirty.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
or
well,
a common dirty leopard. It's just a house cat with some spots on it.
Yeah.
on the same tip as him being a spotted leopard or a very special leopard, Brent, you're the only person I know in my life who doesn't have a cell phone. How are you doing with that? Are you? And I know you've never had one. Are you seeing your friends go further and further away from you? How are you? How are you managing?
I see people like you that are
Coming towards you?
coming towards me, aren't you?
Oh yeah, like when I lose my phone, I'm like, I think maybe I'm just not gonna find it.
She said that to me the other day. She lost her phone and she goes, I think this might be like a sign that I should not have a phone for the next few months. I go, no, like you can't not have a phone. I said, and you'd be proud of me, Brent. I said, well, we can get you one of those phones that only texts and
John's
calls
phone.
and texts, but I'm not going to have.
It doesn't even text.
But you
It
don't
doesn't
even have
text?
that.
John's phone, just you dial and make calls.
Okay,
That's
well,
it.
I can't do John's phone. I need Ronald's phone or whatever. Like it has to have text because I got to be able to text her.
Are you? Is it working out for you though? Because
Yeah.
you've been kind of hard and firm about that.
Yeah, I've always said this, but I feel I'm a lot easier to get a hold of than people with cell phones.
That's not true. In fact, we had
You
a
home all the time?
I am.
No, he's not.
When I'm not looking at plates out on the road, I'm at home thinking about which ones I want to find next.
Googling plates.
Yeah.
No, Brent, I do not agree that you're easier to get a hold of because we just had a difficult time getting a hold of one another. You were calling me. You said you were missing me. And then what did you do? And then I got back to you.
I did text message him.
And then I was like, bam, what's up?
But I thought, hey, well, I kind of wanted to just talk.
I know.
is
How
the
about
thing.
text me and go, hey, you want to talk on the phone?
I just thought you would get the message.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you this. If you text me or call me, I'm going to respond quickly.
Yeah, that's so true.
You like to talk on the phone.
Yeah, I'm a talker.
Big time talker.
Don't you think? Don't you like?
To
Don't
talk
you
on
like-
the phone? I
Don't
mean,
you like?
I like to talk on the phone, but not really for more than half an hour. And only if I don't feel like if it's someone I really want to talk
You're
to.
one of the few friends that when you call, I don't take it as a personal insult. Like when a random person calls me, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
What do you want?
We've beaten this.
We've beaten it?
Yeah, we've
What do you
solved this
mean?
problem.
What do you mean by that?
He's saying
Text me.
It's insulting?
Just like you're going to steal my afternoon. You want to steal my next 15 minutes?
Sometimes a call is so much quicker and easier. If you call
I
somebody
agree.
and you go, "Hey, so I'll see
Yes.
see you in a bit," rather than or have to type. I hate having to type stuff out.
Of course you
know?
hate texting. You don't have a phone, so you've got to probably like type on
Actually,
a
I
computer.
don't. I was doing this, but I'm going like this. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's more of this,
I agree. If the only time I call people is if I have business that must be answered immediately.
Yeah.
I don't ever call people to chat, and except for maybe you.
Me. And
No,
me.
well, I talk to you. Yeah.
You actually don't. You chat with Brent more than you chat with me
That
when
is
I'm
not
on the
true.
road.
That's
It is
certainly
true.
not true.
Do people in the world talk to each other less in person because of texting?
I like talking in person.
No,
No, but do
everyone
they?
just does two things at once now. So like,
I hate that.
So now it's like, oh hey, how's it going? And like someone can actually read an article and be thumbing through it while they're like in a conversation with you,
I hate
and that's
that.
just where we're headed.
I hate that. I hate the dilution of everything.
But here's the
Attention.
problem, Brent.
Attention, yeah.
And
What-
and one more thing, no one watches a movie anymore. They watch a movie while they're texting.
I hate that.
Oh, you hate that more than when somebody's reading an article talking to you.
Yeah, I rather you fully immerse yourself in the film, and then then we could talk about it. And if you want to be distracted while you talk about it with me, fine. No, I hate it when people talk to me and they're not fully talking to me.
Have you thought, this is a real question, have you thought about being more interesting? Because part of the problem is maybe that you're talking about license plates so much and people are kind of graying out.
I know. I got to step it up. I got to talk about kids videos more, maybe, or
Yeah,
something. Or
Blippy.
and Blippy, I think.
Well, listen, you're an inspiration. I think it's really cool. I think a lot of young people are going to be following suit. It's just going to take maybe another.
I do think
Here.
that. I think there is going to be a new movement to. I mean, I think
Do
there already
things
is.
IRL.
People have been
Yeah,
saying
and
this.
just to be.
It's so funny. People have been saying this
That's true.
the whole time, and it just doesn't appear to be true.
But
No, but now AI's coming.
It's a
and
fantasy.
No, it's okay.
I feel more and more people are kind of thinking, "Oh, that's cool. You don't have a cell phone, or you whatever." I think more and more people are saying that.
I agree with that.
The addiction's ramping up, though.
But no, I agree with what both of you are saying. And I think the reason people say to you, that's cool, is not because it's coming that they're going to do it. It's that they
It's
go
patronizing.
like, no. I think they are, more and more people are going like, that's aspirational. Wow, I wish I was like that. But they're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like when you see somebody with a cut body and you go, whoa, that's cool. It doesn't mean you're about to join a gym and become a bodybuilder. You go, whoa, I wish I was healthy.
Or if I see a man defecate onto another man's
That's right.
chest, I think that's cool. I'm
Or-
not going to do it.
Or if I see a 1 or even a 2 license plate, I go, that's cool.
Actually, 2s are cool, and I
Yeah.
saw one yesterday. It
Oh
was a
my
Toyota.
God. Okay, you know what? We got someone waiting to talk to
But
us.
actually-
I'm so sorry. I would love to hear about
I will say
this.
one last thing about
no,
that.
actually, this topic's closed.
Oh, just one last
Okay,
point.
fine.
It just looking at plates has actually made me more interested in cars lately too, in general.
What kind of car you want?
No, I just think it's cool to look at old cars.
Well, what kind of car? If I could give you any kind of car.
Oh, a Toyota Camry 1985. That
Oh
would be
my
perfect. That
God,
would be the
that's
perfect. Or
your
80
kind of car.
An 85,
85?
an 85 or 86 Toyota Camry is the perfect dream car. Burgundy,
You could get one.
I had that growing up.
but I want it rebuilt so that it's going to be a good car.
You could get one of those. It'd be really funny for you to have a big financial windfall. And there's all these businesses that will rebuild a car. They'll do it in either way. They'll do it as a gas-powered
Oh, but
car.
he does it as a 1984.
A 1985 Toyota Camry Burgundy, but refitted to be fully electric.
That could be cool. Although I'm still on the fence about electric.
I bet you are. You still get your power from a water wheel outside of your house, correct?
Yeah. It's like we have to pump.
That's right.
I have to pump every morning, actually. Yeah, with water.
Well, listen, Brent, hopefully you have some good wisdom and advice for our callers because we have some people waiting to talk to
I
you.
can't wait.
Are you up for this?
Are they live?
You up for the challenge?
They're live.
Oh wow, I can't
we
wait.
go out live.
No, this doesn't go
This
out
all
live.
of our listeners
No, I
now
know,
are hearing
no,
this.
but
because we have
they're.
to edit out everything about the license plate.
No,
Are you
that was
saying?
cool.
I think
thought.
we should actually,
I thought it was cool.
but you're not going to do it.
I'm not gonna do it, but I think it's cool that I think quirky stuff like that, weird stuff like that.
What's the
I think
median age? Is it like comedy friends? Is it old men?
I know them kind of. No, they're these guys are in their 20s,
Oh.
late 20s. They're in their late 20s.
You've convinced some acolytes that this is cool.
Well, they think it's cool. I didn't have to convince them.
All right,
They
here we
think
go.
you're cool.
I don't know what they think.
I think you're cool.
I don't hang out with 20-year-olds, so I don't know.
I hang out with a lot of 20-year-olds, and they think I'm cool.
Oh yeah,
They think I'm in touch with the youth.
yeah. Well, look, get hip to plates. That's going to be the new
Get
trend.
hip to plates. Cody is waiting on the line from Denver, Colorado.
How crazy would it be if he also does this?
That would be mind-boggling.
How old is Cody? If he's in his late 20s,
Let's find out.
he might be interested.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
I noticed you went viral for taking your shirt off on stage recently.
Thank you.
Well, not exactly a compliment, but question. why weren't you wearing your favorite bra?
You mean Honey Love?
That's what I mean.
I love Honey Love bras. I would recommend these bras to anyone. Girls, you know that feeling when you get home from a long day and you immediately want to take off your bra? With Honey Love, you'll never experience that again. Their bras are so comfortable, you will forget you're wearing them. I have slept in my Honey Love bra. This is so crazy for me because I used to wear underwear bras, then I wore the little bras that had like those, 50s cushions, and that looked stupid. It's like a natural look that's lifted. They're sexy. And for the more relaxed lounge bra, I would recommend their V bra. It offers the support of a traditional bra without the uncomfortable underwire. It's designed to lift and separate with molded cups, and it's not a shelf-like bra like the ones I used to wear, so you won't get the uniboob effect.
So if you're going to take your shirt off and you're going to wear a bra, we suggest Honey Love bras. It's the only bra that Natasha wears when she's not completely topless.
Treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/honeymoon. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/honeymoon. And after your purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Honeys.
You deserve this. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
We just got back from Taiwan, and the whole time, people were breaking their necks looking at your base bag.
I love my new base bag. Base is spelled B-E-I-S. Google this bag. Look at the canvas one. It is so cute. It fits like 7 pairs of shoes in the bottom. It's a great carry-on. I can put so much crap in it. I put all my kids' books in the bottom. I don't understand how it has that much space.
It also has one of these like really cool flaps at the back that you can slide over the handle of your carry-on, so you don't have to lug it through the airport. It's super convenient. I don't use the bottom chamber for shoes. I use them for dirty-ass underwear. And I'll tell you what, I have a lot of dirty-ass underwear.
Also, it has inside this like little zipper pocket that that I was able to keep all the passports. Like so many bags I have, they don't have pockets inside. How am I supposed to have all my random crap scattered around the bag? It drives me crazy. Airports are stressful enough. Get yourself a base bag.
You know when you get a new bag and then when you start using it, you start to realize all the things it doesn't have or the things they didn't think of? Base is the opposite. It's like they thought of every single thing you'll need to travel, and people are constantly complimenting us on them. They're so dope. They're so cool. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. Each piece is made to look better with miles, so you don't have to worry about it in cargo or in the overhead. There's over 30,000 5-star reviews of these bags, and count us as 2 of those because we love it.
Our Base bags travel with us everywhere. Right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/honeymoon. That's BEISTRAVEL.com/honeymoon.
Base, BEIS, travel.com/honeymoon for 15% off your first purchase. Here we go. Cody.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Cody, it's Natasha, Moshe, and our friend Brent Weinbach.
Hi. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. You have perfect teeth. You are maybe a perfect man. I mean, really a little bit like a little bit of a Sims character of a man, honestly. You're like perfect. You're like a mannequin.
I was just going to compliment Natasha, but now I feel like I should find something about you to compliment.
Now I should struggle to find something about you to compliment.
Now I need to rack
love
my
your
fucking
shoes.
brain. Thank you. All right, go to Natasha. She's beautiful.
You look amazing.
Oh,
I saw
thank
you in
you.
Denver just a few weeks ago.
Oh, cool. Thanks for coming to the show.
Did she look better there or better here?
Here.
Oh, what were you doing in Denver?
Well, in
honey?
Denver, sometimes, it's, I don't
You can wear anything in Denver. You looked great. You just.
Well,
you
in
have-
Denver, I rest because everyone's wearing REI, so it doesn't take much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to brush my hair, and I put on a nice dress, and I'm already like...
You're like a 1, like a license plate 1. You're a human 10.
Every time I dress up for something here, I'm overdressed.
I know.
Always.
It does feel like that. It's a very casual lifestyle. How can we help you, Cody?
So I am a stay-at-home dad of 2 years now, and I'm just the longer I stay home, we're waiting to adopt a second child, so I'm not going back to work anytime soon. But the longer I stay home, the longer I'm finding it hard to be like a human being. Like I'm losing my social skills. I feel like I'm losing myself. I'm just becoming like this dad person that
dad bod.
is losing the ability to like function in public.
Interesting.
That's how I felt after the pandemic, for sure. I used to be like, oh my God, I've seen 3 people this week. That's so social. And I would be like, really weighing those. And I'm like, wow, I think I can do this. Like I remember that feeling. So this is probably similar, but also men aren't meant to stay home with the children. That's the mothers.
Whoa, Natasha, that is regressive.
Well, he doesn't have a mommy, so
okay.
You heteronormative cis scum.
How dare you?
Yes, how dare she? Yeah, you should have complimented me first.
I had a solution, I think.
Oh, what's your solution?
Well, have you tried watching reruns of Cheers? Because it's a place where people know each other, they socialize, and you can kind of just feel like you're maybe there at the Cheers bar and hanging out.
You should build a replica of the Cheers set with a big screen TV in it, and you can feel like you're sitting at the bar.
Yeah, Cliff could be there.
Well, it's funny. I mean, because like we actually got placed with him shortly after things started getting normal after the pandemic. So it was like pandemic and then baby. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of feel like a lot of my friends are like podcast hosts and comedians and like books. I loved your book, Natasha. It came out at a perfect time, and I just started yours, Moshe. So.
Oh, thank you.
But who cares what other people do? What do you want? Is it fulfilling to you to stay home with the kids? Is it something you want to keep doing?
Yes, it's like my greatest honor and privilege. Honestly, it really is. It's a dream come true. But I also want to be a little bit of what I was before. I had a whole other life for 40 years before I had a child. So
this sounds like the premise to my book.
I reading your book, I literally was like, oh my gosh, this is, except for you're a working mom. So, I mean, I felt even worse.
Oh, there you go. That's a beautiful result to your book, reading it and feeling worse as a parent.
Well, no, I definitely felt empathy for working parents, because I'm sure it just adds a whole nother layer, to.
But you are going to have a time in probably 4 to 5 years where you are free from 8:30 a.m. till 4 p.m.
So true.
And there's a lot you can do, and in terms of like having a career.
But you're a little worried that by the time that comes around, by the time juniors are like going into kindergarten, you're going to be permanently damaged as a person.
Yes.
And you have a partner, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you and your partner need to focus on your relationship a little bit and not just the relationship of the family.
Yeah, we like for the first year, you're just kind of in this baby haze, and it's like date night. You kind of don't even think about it at first. And, but yeah, we definitely do a date night every month and everything and stuff like that. But it's just.
How about every week?
Oh, there you go, Brent.
That's what we try. But last night, our date night was going to a friend's anniversary dinner.
But Brent, you were breaking in?
Well, I was just thinking, we were talking about this earlier, talking on the phone. Do you do that?
Oh,
the
that's
actual just classic talking on the phone?
To like just friends back home, you mean?
Yeah, friends back home or friends at here, wherever you are, I mean.
When you're home in the day.
Well, yeah, we're not from here, so
or
again,
wherever.
Wherever. Right. So I have lost touch with a lot of my friends that I grew up with, so that's probably another reason.
Well, are you saying you don't have any friends also, or what?
No, I do have I do have friends. It's hard to get together with the friends that I have. But yeah, you're right.
But what about talking on the phone?
Brent, just so you know, the phone is actually one of the more, I think, what do you think, Natasha? It's one of the more difficult things to do because you have something that's screaming at you and you're trying to be on the phone. Like, it's much easier to go to a place, to leave, or bring your kid to a place where they're distracted and you can connect with an adult than to be on the phone when you have a little kid. It's just true.
I guess so, but I'm also thinking about the classic image of
a mom on the phone?
Of a mom on the phone with the cord stretching everywhere.
Sure.
And
she's
doing all the stuff around the home.
But is she usually pretty engaged in the conversation, or is she going, Junior, shut up?
Both. She's able to sort of do both. I'm wondering if you could do something like that where, you're dealing with the kids, you're dealing with other household stuff, but you're also having you're talking to a friend, catching up or whatever,
Okay, can I tell you one thing I try to do? I don't know if this is exactly relevant, but like I won't allow myself to start doing dishes if I am not listening to a podcast. Like something, or a book, or something that's like I'm going to come out of this with learning something, or accumulating. Like I just don't want like mind numbing.
Yeah,
but we're talking about
like every chore I do has something, a podcast or a book, or if I'm going on a walk, it has something. But that's the thing. I feel like all my human interaction, besides my son and my husband, are like
one way,
digital.
Right.
Like,
Okay. How old is your kid?
He'll be turning 2.
And you're about to get a newborn.
We're waiting. Yeah, we're waiting to adopt another one.
You didn't read my chapter. 1 is an accessory, 2 is a lifestyle.
Well, you're locked into the lifestyle. I think what you should do, 2 is about the right age, actually. It is find some other dads in the area, and they're not going to be great connections.
Play dates, baby.
They're not going to be great connections, but they're going to be adult connections. Because I relate to that feeling. Like when Natasha's out of town, when you did Life on Mars or whatever it was called, I had a feeling about a week and a half in. I was like, oh my God, I haven't spoken to an adult in a week. It's just
you mean after when I was gone?
When you were gone. I haven't spoken in person to an adult. I haven't had an adult conversation in a week.
You can always call Brent.
I could always call Brent. But the and I also understand what you're saying. Like,
cheers.
Well, one-way communication is not enough. Like, it's not enough to hear a person speak in a sophisticated adult way. You need to interact in a sophisticated adult way. I think that finding like some play date situation where you can meet these other dads at a playground, 2's the right age for your kid to start going out.
Or moms too, by the way.
Or moms. Yeah,
and you have to just get them in your calendar, and you have to like and they say this to moms. I've heard it, like you have to sometimes be the aggressor. Mm-hmm. You know, you are going to have to make the move.
Yeah, you have to be the aggressor is a lesson that moms have to be taught, but fathers know inherently. Like as men, we know always be the aggressor.
And also, is there, maybe your husband could give you a day off, maybe, or something where you can do some activity thing that I don't know what you like to do, but maybe you meet. It's a meetup thing with other adults, and you can do some sort of activity just one day of the week, maybe, or even
Saturday
half a day.
Mornings are yours.
Yeah,
or
something like that.
I need to do that.
Yes.
I found it hard to do it at first. The legal risk for our adoption was a long one. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of lived in fear that like, he wasn't going to be ours for, just like, we loved him so much already. And so I think after the legal risk was finally over, it was almost hard to like be away from him because it was just a weird. It's hard to explain.
It's not. You don't need to explain it because we all did a very mini version of that with the pandemic, which was we were all in this feeling of like there's this risk if you go outside, and then the risk, depending on who you ask, went down a bit, and we still were like, the outside, that's the scary place. So. Yeah, concentrating that into the most important. I mean, I guess living is really important too, but concentrating that into the most important relationship in your life. I can understand how there's like some residual PTSD. So that, to me, that you shucked the corn and showed us the kernel. The kernel is it's you. It has nothing to do with your circumstances, and it has nothing to do with the fact that you're the primary parent. It has to do with the fact that there's a little stardust of PTSD going. If I go out on a Saturday morning to my Taibo class, like that's bad or wrong or naughty on some level, and you just have to you have to convince yourself not to listen to that voice. That feels very clear.
And you could also start talking to strangers in the supermarket or whatever,
Supermarket sweep.
Make some small talk and get some interactions going with the cashier person or whatever.
I used to be such a small talker, but I feel like people just look at you like, who the fuck are you talking to me? Like people are not into that anymore.
You got to make it interesting. You got to like notice some cool license plates or something outside and be like, look at that license plate. It says cat on it.
That's what I was going to say. This could be a really interesting. I have a pitch for you for Saturday mornings. Maybe start a California license plate
what state are you in?
Colorado license
Colorado.
plate.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yeah.
Does that appeal to you at all, to find a group of younger men, maybe in their mid-20s, to go stare at license plate in the greater Colorado area?
I mean, parts of that sound great.
The license plates? It's got to be the license plates, right?
Okay, I have the best advice.
No, but you're right. And my son's getting to the age where he's starting to be more interested in playing with other kids, and we're going to more parks. And, sometimes I hit it off with the mom, and sometimes I think she thinks I'm hitting on her or something.
Basically, what you have to do is you have to reclaim your life and take these little snippets where you can, to model that for your child, so they can see a well-balanced human and how you would want them to be.
Right.
So you have to do it as almost like, your duty to your child.
I remember my husband and I had a conversation like shortly before we got our son, and we're like, we're still going to be ourselves. We're just going to add a child to our life. And it's laughable now. It's like you're not even the same person as soon as you become a parent. And I know that's impossible. And but yeah.
No, it surprises you what happens to you too. I think especially women.
Don't do it, Natasha. You cis scum.
No, I mean,
how dare you?
I'm saying that just like whoever is taking on the woman role.
Oh my God, you're getting worse.
I get what you're
Natasha.
saying. No, I get it.
Feeling it a little more sometimes.
I get it. Yeah.
And I think
my mom was the primary parent, so I do sometimes think of myself. I mean, I'm a man, but I think of myself as a mom because my dad was so hands off that it's kind of.
And I think in gay couples, I'm sure there's one parent who's a little more hands on a lot of times, and one parent who kind of like is the more like Moshe.
You're attacking me. I'm a pretty involved parent.
Yeah. I remember you talking about how Moshe was making a protein shake for himself, and your daughter was like crying or whatever, and you're like, that's I
he does always feed himself first, whereas like I won't eat for like till 3 p.m. And make sure that she's already had like every food group.
Cody, last night we were at this anniversary dinner, and Brent, you can jump in on this too, and we were having this Japanese souffle cheesecake, and Natasha takes a bite, and her first reaction is, I want to bring our daughter home some of this. And I go, no, enjoy the cheesecake. Like,
I was still enjoying it. I was just thought it would be. I thought she would like it because she's like a foodie.
It felt metaphorical, but it felt metaphorical to me. Like, finish the slice.
My 5-year-old's a foodie. What do you want?
Finish the slice of your own souffled cheesecake before you think of the child.
This is the difference between the female.
Well, okay, fine. It is, and yet I think it's something that you have to fight against.
That's interesting. She needs her own time too.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And he does too.
Yes.
So you need to finish the slice.
You need to finish the slice.
That's what it is. Finish the slice on your own. Take a moment to appreciate the slice. For you to appreciate the slice.
You're right, because I was just imagining immediately what she would think.
You're robbing your own joy in the hopes of the joy of the person you love having more joy.
She did love it though.
And by the way, that's a good instinct.
That was cute.
It's a beautiful instinct. I want her to have joy more than I want myself to have joy is the right instinct, but it doesn't mean you don't deserve the joy. And I'm going to go a step further and go even more polemic. I don't think you should do Saturday mornings at the park with the other moms. I think you should and I'm sorry to shit all over you like Blippy early years, but I think you should have your husband watch your son on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons or whatever it is you negotiate. And this is for you. You go out alone. You go to the Taibo class or the bird watching class or the license plate appreciation society or the whatever it is that turns you on, or just have a cup of coffee by yourself in the morning. Whatever it is, it's for you. It's yours, and it doesn't belong to your son. And it doesn't belong to your husband. It belongs to you, because Natasha said it best. Your son is going to one day look at you and go, oh, this is my dad. And don't you want him to say, this is my dad who loved me so much, but he also loved himself and had interests and did his own thing. Not like my dad siphoned his whole selfness into my existence our whole life. He wants to see a strong individual.
And a side effect of that is that your husband now is going to have a stronger relationship with your kid. And he's going to surprise you, and he's going to start taking more initiative and the more time they spend, the better. And most people, spending time with your kids is annoying. Like, I love my child, but it's like, there's a lot of chores involved. It's a lot. It's like not your life, And so.
And he's very busy right now.
Right. So I'm saying it's like, once you start realizing, oh, this is, but it's also like, you don't want to do anything else besides that.
Yeah.
Just one point.
It's true.
One point in defense of not finishing the slice.
Okay.
Is that I do think it is also fun to think about other people who would like the thing that you're liking. Oh my gosh, she would love this, and that is fun,
It
so
is.
And it's
it is. But
I think, and that actually, if that gives you pleasure too, then do that.
But it's not instead. I don't think it's healthy.
Both.
I don't think it's healthy to live a life where you subsume all of your own pleasure in the hopes that even if you get pleasure out of that process, that you don't do anything for yourself anymore. I think
That's not true, though. I mean, I still do things for myself.
She still ate the slice.
She ate the slice, but all I'm saying is I think it's not. I don't even think it's selfishness. I think it's self-fulfillment. And your husband is very busy right now, but I guarantee he would. And I think Natasha said it best. Like, not only would he probably be down to give you this space, but I bet he would, if not at first, eventually come to realize that you did him a great favor to give him some alone time with this kid.
He's just going to put him in front of TV.
No, it's not true. When Natasha goes out of town,
Blippy.
when Natasha goes out of town,
Tell him Blippy used to shit on his friend's chest, though, for likes. Okay, go.
When Natasha goes out of town, I look forward to that time with my kid because I know that I'm going to get a different kind of experience with her than we would have if we were together. It's a different style of experience, and I like that.
Yeah,
he
totally
does more than he usually would.
No, that's not it. It's different. It's a different quality.
It's just different dynamic, different energy, and that is cool. I always appreciated that when certain family members of mine in a family of 6 were off on the side doing our own, if we had our own little side quest that was just, 2 of us or 3 of us, there was a different dynamic, and that was fun.
A side quest is the perfect way to put it. If you play video games, Cody, you seem like you're a big gamer. If you play video games, you have a main mission. The main mission is to save the universe. Your main mission is to raise this boy and the other one to come. But you also go off on side quests by yourself that have nothing to do with the main mission, but they make you more powerful. They give you more experiences, and they make you a more well-rounded character.
Ah.
You need a side quest.
We tried to take our first trip away, a couple months ago. We went to Vegas for a weekend, and that was hard for me.
With the kids?
No, we
That's
left
hard.
the kid with a nanny. But it was
what
like
was so hard about it?
Because I'd never been away from him since we got him.
Oh, it was hard to be away
except
from
for
the
a
kid.
date night. I've been away for a couple of hours, but I've never been away for overnight.
We did that.
So for the weeks leading up to it, I was just a nervous wreck. And literally, as we were landing in Vegas, I knew I was getting I was getting sick. And it turned into a push through trip because I was just sicker than shit the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I stressed myself out the whole time. Just I wanted that trip so bad, and I felt like we needed it, and we wanted to go, but I was just
next
worried.
year.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year.
We'll give it another try.
Yeah.
And also just trying to develop your faith that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, it will. It definitely will.
But it is hard to convince yourself of that stuff, that if you're not there, it's going to be an emergency. But those trips help, because then you come home and your kid is like, oh, you're fine? And you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So go on
Even
another
though
trip.
I was sick during the Vegas trip, it was nice just to know that we could rely on our nanny to take care of her for a couple days. And, he was fine. He was excited to see us when we came back. Everything was fine. And I knew that would be my logical side knew that'd be okay. But my crazy side was but what else could happen?
Right.
Did you see any shows?
Yes, we saw Kelly Clarkson, and we saw RuPaul's live drag show.
Oh, yeah.
This is sounding like more than a push through it. This is sounding like this is fun.
Well, we had to leave the RuPaul drag show because I literally was sweating.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I was we have to go. And there was a weirdo in the bathroom. There was a situation with that too.
Does RuPaul appear at that show?
It's probably like a book.
No, and none of the queens in the promotional material do either.
Oh,
Hilarious.
hilarious.
It's a bait and switch.
Really? So it's just some random people.
It's some people that but not anybody that we wanted to see.
Damn, if I'm going to a RuPaul show, I want to see RuPaul.
I just got to say, that
Is it a real... Oh, go ahead.
That is the gayest trip to Las Vegas I've ever heard of. Friday night, Kelly Clarkson. Saturday night, RuPaul's drag show.
It was reversed, but Kelly Clarkson was amazing.
We got to get you into that. We're gonna send you on another trip, and this time it's gonna be Chris Angel Friday night and monster trucks the next night.
They have monster trucks there now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was just trying to find
Chris
a real.
Angel gives
Dude,
me-
I saw a monster truck in my neighborhood, in a residential
what kind
area.
Of license plate did it
I
have?
wish I looked and I didn't see it, but it was crazy to see a monster. Imagine seeing a monster truck just parked outside. It was so weird. It was surreal.
Now this is a story that's worth not cutting.
Cut
from
it,
the
please.
podcast.
I do want you to cut that.
Well, listen, just take care of yourself, and it's baby steps. So just try to reclaim Saturdays or something, you need to start.
Yeah.
But it really does kind of take till 5 years old.
Well, the truth is too.
Till
Yeah.
you start really becoming yourself again, I feel like.
Totally,
Yeah,
that's true.
I can imagine.
Which sucks because you still have now 6 years left.
Do you feel you've been different or changed? Because you seem similar.
Moshe
the same.
thinks I'm different.
I do.
Really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How is she different?
I think in a very similar way to Cody. This constant her first worry. and I think that's okay. It's natural. It's undeniable,
Yeah.
unavoidable. It cannot.
He's
be
like my
avoided.
first 4 worries.
Yeah, but it can't be
And then me.
avoided. It can't be avoided, but it can be pushed back against. I think to reclaim yourself. I think that, and like in listening to you talk, I'm thinking to myself, okay, Cody's already won the "Will I be a good dad?" question. You're a good dad. That's really obvious. So that question's settled. That's settled law. You're not going to go to Vegas and become a bad dad. It's like you're already good. So now you go, okay, what hasn't been settled? Oh, what's Cody's self like post parenting? Now
It's crazy how you need someone to say that, though.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good
Your
luck,
mission is
Cody.
clear.
We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck
Thank you
out
so
there.
much. It was really great meeting you guys.
You too.
Bye, Cody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Brent, does all this talk make you want to have a kid?
I've always wanted to have kids.
Why now? Don't you have one?
Well, I got to get a
A girl
You
who's
do?
into
I gotta
his
get
hobbies.
I gotta get a surrogate first. You know what? Actually, on the way over here, I saw mom on a license plate.
Very
cool.
cool.
And not a vanity plate.
Brent, if there's anything that our last call has proven to us, it's that you don't need no woman to
That's
have
true.
yourself a
That's
kid.
true. That's true.
Maybe you
I
should
mean,
just,
well, I want to before
kid with,
I get
your
to
gay lover.
Yes,
you
I
should
could
get
do
a
that.
Netflix for kids.
I would that maybe.
You should adopt.
But I think that it's maybe. But I think I'd like
Okay.
to try to get it a different way
All right,
first.
all right. Let's get to the reason Brent came on the call. If there are any listeners right now that are willing to have a child with Brent, sight unseen, he's not doing any interviews about it. He doesn't need anything
No,
from
maybe
you
he should do some dating.
other than Brent's a dating machine. But he'll just literally any woman out there that's down, he will impregnate you, right? You were saying that before the podcast. You were saying the only reason you came to do that is for me to make this announcement.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah, so anybody at all, Brent will be the father of your child. He doesn't need to be involved in your day-to-day. He wants just 50-50 custody, right?
Why don't we just make the next girl have his children?
Oh, whoever the person calling in is?
Rachel in Central Coast, California
Okay,
is
here we
waiting
go.
to talk to us.
This is
Let's
exciting.
see if she wants to marry you and have your. That's
Marry-
what they
he
do on
doesn't
Love.
need to marry
Love
you.
We're
is
not even
Blind.
talking about
Yeah.
marriage here.
No,
We're not
this
even
is
talking about a relationship.
This is a business transaction.
This is just pure baby.
Pure baby. This is pure baby right
This
here.
is just pure baby right here.
Wait, there's no money involved.
No, this is just
Well, there could be. Maybe I could buy the.
What does she get out
Maybe
of it?
I can buy
She
her
gets a
share.
kid.
Maybe I can buy her share.
Then they're gonna
you
have
could
to
buy-
hang
you know,
out all
and
the
then-
If she
time.
decides she wants to disinvest, then you'll buy the. You'll buy
I
her
could
out.
just.
Hey, Rachel.
Rachel, you're perfect. Oh my God, you're perfect. Okay, this is gonna be great.
Don't do this.
Okay, fine, I won't do it. Natasha's
Let's not
afraid
scare her.
that this would
Hey,
frighten
Rachel,
you, so we won't do it.
It's Natasha Leggero, Moshe Kasher, and Brent Weinbach. He does happen to be single and want children. So how can we help you?
Yeah, hi. Wow, it's such an honor to be here and speak with you guys. But I'll give you just a tiny bit of background.
Where are you, by the way? Do you not want to say? I'm
Central
curious. I know
Coast.
what's the Central
So-
Coast. You don't have to say.
Sonoma?
You don't have to say. That's not the Central Coast.
Delaware.
Delaware. You got to
Oh,
be
I
in
know what
Delaware.
it is. Michigan.
No, it's
So I'm
Pismo
on
Beach.
the central coast of California, so kind of right in that San Luis Obispo,
I was
Paso
just-
Robles area.
Very
That's
cool.
beautiful there, right?
We love it. We love the area.
People from that area, they just look happier and more fulfilled.
And to be honest, you look happier and more fulfilled. You really do. You've got the
I feel
vibe.
She
pretty
lives
happy
around
and
beauty.
fulfilled. I always tell people, I'm like, as far as day-to-day living goes, there's no better place to live. Absolutely.
Well, except that it's a liberal hellscape, and because of Gavin Newsom, there's literally there's a war on culture, and you can't walk outside in Pismo Beach anymore without your car being robbed and covered in woke graffiti. That's true.
Yet, despite
That's
that,
great.
you have a radiant quality about you. You shine through the screen.
Okay, what's up? How can we help?
Yeah, I'll give you a tiny bit of background. So last year, I moved in with a boyfriend.
Next call.
that-
Why don't we just move on? Why don't we move on to the next call? No, I'm just kidding.
I moved in with a boyfriend, and after living together for a few months, a little more than that, he had a sick parent that he decided to, go home to kind of be helpful and to take care of this sick parent. And so in the process, was like, hey, I don't do long distance. I know you moved into my house and we bought all this furniture together.
He said that, or you said that?
No, he said this.
He left and then said, "I don't do long distance."
He said you don't. He said you don't do long distance. He said you don't do long distance, right?
He said that he does not do long distance.
okay.
He doesn't want help. He doesn't want anyone waiting for him, and he wants to like go and
Whoa.
focus. Yes. After moving me into the house that he lived with a friend of his, so we have this other like third roommate as well. So he's gone, moved out of his room, but like packed up all of his stuff and is storing it like in a closet in our garage, I guess, to come get it at some point because he's going to be living out of his truck for who knows how long.
Has he broken up with you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I have
But this is the most gangster move of fuckboyism I have ever heard of in my life. He moves long distance and says, "I don't do long distance relationships." That's maybe a first of its kind. I'm sorry for how painful that must have been, but that is fucking crazy.
Pretty lame.
It's okay. It's kind of just fitting, he's always been very out there and
Sure.
Dates Polly, which was new for me, and he's big into the Burning Man community also.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
So what's the problem?
Yeah, so my problem, my question is,
This is all sounding ideal. So what's the problem? He's poly. He's poly and out of state and no longer wants you to live at his house. What's the problem?
I mean,
here?
no, but truly though, that does seem resolved to me. Is that this isn't probably quite the right match anyway, and you probably anyway. But,
okay, so
but must be something here. Yeah,
I totally agree. Not the right match, and it sounds like, and according to my therapist as well, this is kind of like a gift or a blessing.
That's what I was.
Yeah, but so I've been staying. I would like to stay in the home that I moved into because I made a home there. I love it. It's in an amazing location. I kind of in the process of, I'll bring in like new roommates as the old roommate phases out, but it's sort of this like, how do I like move forward when I have kind of the ghost of this person and the ghost of my relationship, like all their stuff, despite being compacted primarily into one area. I will say he did leave like art and stuff up in the common area. So I'm in the process of taking that down and consolidating it with the rest of his things. One of the things he did leave, though, is like he left his sister's ashes on a shelf.
You gotta dump those. You gotta dump them.
I guess he doesn't do familial relationships, long distance relationships either. I guess even if they're just made of ash.
I mean, but have they said that it's okay that you keep your position there? Is that all cool? Who's the landlord?
Yeah, no, that's fine. There was the landlord is not like aware of the situation yet because we're kind of figuring out who's moving in and who's moving out.
Bad news. She's a huge honeymooner and she knows now.
Hopefully not. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like I have the other roommate too. I don't cross paths with him much, but they're like decade-long friends. So it is this like
there's some ghost in him too.
I think you need to find out if he's cool with you living there, because you're like now sandwiched in between these two buds.
I know.
I mean, have you tried to look for another place? Like, I always know that wherever I live, I'm going to make it look cool and be my home. So it's like, maybe you can at least try to look.
Yeah, and so I am looking a little bit to see what's out there, but also in this area, which you might be familiar with, is like the cost of living is so
true.
So for me to also get my own place, I'd be paying more than double what I pay to have a room in this house that I think is like in the most perfect location. I can walk downtown.
Can you not talk shit about your ex-boyfriend to his best friend? Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Because that'll make it weird.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to be like super respectful. Like it is what it is. And I know this other roommate too is kind of planning on moving in like August anyways. And
so your question is basically, how do you keep the house but make it your own and not feel like it has this sort of vestigial ghost of this weirdo?
But
and how do I like move on when it sort of feels like unfinished because at some point he needs to, come and get all of his shit.
Well, that's
out
the
of
deal
one-
you're making. You're like, I'm gonna stay in this sweet place, but I'm gonna have to
Yeah. If you want to move on, you have to move out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That doesn't. I'm not just saying that as a clever saying, but if you do want to move on, maybe that is the case. Unless it's not. Is there a negative presence there for you? I mean, are you on bad terms with the ex-boyfriend?
I wouldn't say that it's like bad terms. I don't think that he did a good job of like leaving, and I don't think he did a good job of like wrapping things up with me, but like it is what it is, and I think he's going through a lot with what he has to go deal
Because
with.
if it's not that big of a deal, then maybe you'll just get used to it after a little bit of time, and then that's it.
I have a thought here. So basically, you want to win the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you want to win the house in this like you were wronged, and what you'd like the bonus prize to be, the exit prize, is that you get to keep the house, which I think is sort of reasonable. So you want to win the house as an exit prize. The roommate's leaving. The man, the long distance man, is down with you staying and becoming the lease lord. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think, and I know this is going to re-traumatize you, but you're going to have to be re-traumatized. Some things that I've learned in the Burning Man community is that you can, I think you should do like a hippie, get your roommate friends in August and do like literally a ritual where you make the house your own. I mean, yeah, will it be silly and ridiculous, and will you believe that it makes some real change? Probably not. But psychologically, I think if you came in there with a bunch of new artwork and hung all the artwork, and it's now your artwork, you painted a door or two, you did a smudge stick ceremony, and you made it with an intention that I am now cleansing this house of that truck man.
So she has to email him and say, you have till this date
Or not.
to get your paintings out, because we do have a lot of people coming in. They want to hang stuff up. I don't want your stuff to get damaged.
This seems like drama.
Suggest.
This seems like drama to me.
That's what I would do.
You think so?
Well, I don't know. I mean, how he now she
He's
just has
not
to
gonna come.
live with like the idea that he's gonna not. She has his sister's ashes there.
Well, also, if she's paying the rent on the place, he's just storing his stuff there, so he should just get that out of there.
Yeah, but he's not going to.
Change the locks.
Oh, if he doesn't want his stuff, then just sell it.
No,
I
he
think.
wants his stuff, but he wants to get it whenever his hippie, like didgeridoo barometer tells him it's time. And
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, totally. There's no time when I also have not heard from him since he left.
Here's the real reality of what you could do.
Maybe his mom didn't die.
The reality of what you could, maybe his sister didn't die. The reality of what you could do is you could, with all this money you're saving on rent, if it really bothers you, you could rent a small storage space and you have to pay for it. Because he's like, I just want my shit to stay there. But you go pay for this storage space, $60 a month, whatever it is. Like, I'm talking a teeny one. And you put it in there just to it's worth the money to psychically get it out of your physical space. And you tell him this is where all your stuff is. Whenever you're ready to get it, you can come pick it up.
Well, wait a second. What happens if she let's just say hypothetically she moved out in August along with his friend.
Yeah.
Now where he has to get his stuff out.
There is no, well, that's true.
What I'm saying is she even says, okay, well, I'm going to move too, so you need to probably get the stuff out of there because no one's going to be here. And then maybe once the stuff is out, you could sort of change your mind and say, well, I guess now that the stuff is out, I guess I will stay. You know what I mean?
This
Yeah,
is
that's a good
an
point. 'Cause
elaborate dance.
it feels like so unfinished, like where I don't feel like he wants to allow me the space to move on because it is this like, well, I will be by at some point, to get my things. Like, I'm not talking
he has to be by if you're moving out. If
he's
everyone's moving out in August.
If he's poly, he has to be bi, or it's just not fair.
You just have to treat him like a guy who's kind of like is like an acquaintance that you find
Yes.
slightly annoying.
I think that's right.
That you just are like, okay, sure, yeah, you just doing what you need to do and give him the right dates or whatever. But it's no emotion, it's no talking. You're not available, and if he wants to see you, you're probably not going to be there.
Is there a shed?
There's no shed. There's just like a large, like under the stair closet in the garage. So most of the stuff is compacted other than like what is in our common spaces, like just like art and knickknacks.
So you could theoretically just put all this crap into a space in the garage, cover it with a tarp, and never think about it again?
I think I could, but it's also this mysterious, like,
Okay.
when is he gonna reach out?
No.
Because he wants
So
to
this is where Natasha's brilliance is really shimmering on this call. Like, you could do the storage thing, but then you're paying $30 to $60 a month for a small storage space that you're paying
probably
for.
more here.
Yeah,
Everything's
probably more. Or you could just, like Natasha's saying,
Hey, if you want any of this stuff, you're painting your sister's ashes. Other thing.
you take a picture of the tarp pile and say, it's in the garage. Let me know when you're going to come pick it up. And then just never think.
Oh, does she have to let him know?
Here's the thing that I'm realizing from this call, in my opinion. The thing I'm realizing is that you're 100% right. This guy, I'm sure he's a great guy in many ways. I'm sure I've camped with him at Burning Man. But this guy is doing a thing where he doesn't want a long distance relationship with you, but he doesn't want no relationship with you. He wants some weird psychic relationship where you're kind of responsible. He loves the fact that you feel like his stuff is like a ghostly specter in his house. He's like loving that. And he wants you, he knows you like the house, so he's like, I'll be by when I come by. He wants you to be thinking about this. So you could think about it. Currently, you're still in his like little fantasy. Or you could pack it all into an area, cover with a tarp, and say, let me know when you're going to come get this. Don't ever respond to another text other than the one where he tells you he's going to come get the stuff. Pretend he's just not, he's persona non, he's your former roommate that still has a bunch of his shit here. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I think if you make plans to move in August, then he has to get the stuff out.
But
simple as that.
But then it becomes like lying and drama.
It's not lying. Make actual plans to move in August and then change the plans.
And then he's like, you said you were moving and that was bullshit. It's just, there's more drama available.
She could say, well, no, just that once the stuff was out of here, I realized, well, I guess I can stay here.
But what's the deal legally? Are you on the lease now?
I'm in the process of getting on the lease.
Well, you got to do that. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's all been started. And so it's in the works. And so I guess I feel like maybe once I kind of have that like legal power and then bring in, I have another like roommate to fill his spot, then I'll have like more power to be like, okay, you're not on the lease now. You're not paying rent. Like come get things. But then I also feel like, is it inconsiderate or like of me not to be like compassionate towards the fact that like, oh, like you're living out of your truck and oh, you don't have
he was not nice to you, you know it. He's not cool, and you just have to not be emotional with him, and he's not your person.
No, but I'm saying I agree with Natasha. I'm saying
I'm looking for my person.
What?
That's
you
what
don't know
people
about that?
say. They
my
say,
person?
What's that
like
about?
Natasha's my person. I found my person.
Oh gosh.
You
Okay.
never heard that?
I don't know.
You never heard that?
Maybe I've heard it.
You've never heard it, Laura?
No, I say that all the time.
Oh, you say it all the time. I mean, this is, to me, okay, like you have to think of this guy as like a laughable blip in your dating history.
Who had a
laughable
sweet
Blippy.
pad.
Laughable
Blippy.
Blippy. Yeah, laughable Blippy. Not early Blippy, which is not laughable, but more...
All of it.
But just a laughable blip, and he has no power over you because the truth is you're still engaged in his psychic warfare. Mm-hmm. And this whole thing where you're like, I'll get on the lease, and then I'll demand that he comes and gets his stuff at that point, and then he'll have to go, because then he's going to go, oh, she's demanding it of me? Well, I'll call the landlord and tell her that this whole lease switching thing was actually just a ruse. Any opportunity for this to turn into drama is I'm saying is for me it's a no. Putting a tarp over a shit and saying, hey, it's in the garage, I haven't even thought about it in 6 months, let me know. And when he lets you know, you say, okay, cool, I won't be there, but my roommate will be there to give you all your stuff. You fucking take off out of town and go see a Blippy live in Vegas.
Or see Clarkson. And,
you go see Kelly Clarkson in Vegas.
But don't forget, step one is getting on the lease. That is your main focus.
That's your mission.
All right, good luck. Get on that lease and then kick this hippie to the curb.
I mean, he kicked himself to the curb. That's what's so funny.
They kicked themselves to the curb.
Well, but that's what's so funny to me about this thing is that he's this complete emotional anorexic who's like literally left your life, and somehow he's still got psychic power over you guys, like you're still in this weird relationship. That's the part to snip.
I mean,
yeah.
I could sort of understand though if he had to move somewhere else long distance to take care of a family member or whatever, and say in a reasonable way, this is going to be hard to do a long distance, so I think we should cut things off. I think that's reasonable.
I get it.
I just want to give the guy a little credit.
Well, no, Brent's a men's rights activist. That's his thing, but he is interested in having a family. So if that's something that appeals to you, but
I don't know, I'm just saying,
I hear what you're saying.
He's not the worst.
He's not a devil. I agree with you. He's not a devil, but he's certainly.
He could have handled her in a better way.
He could have handled it better.
Sure,
it doesn't seem like
he could get the stuff out of there. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, get the stuff out of there,
and
please.
Manipulation,
especially the ashes. Get them out of there.
Manipulation is a weird thing where sometimes you can manipulate someone that you used to date without even fully being aware of the way you're manipulating him. On some weird level, I get the impression this guy knows how much you want this house, and he's using that desire to.
Of course he does. There was during the week before he was leaving, because he was kind of just so emotionally unstable with everything going on. There was a morning 6 a.m. he tried to be like, I don't know why you think you can stay here, and tried to kick me out one morning, but then totally backtracked later in the day.
You got to get on the lease.
Yeah.
You got to get on the lease, and then you got to convince yourself that this guy is just some dude that you accidentally dated. It was just some mistake from your past.
And you got to get his friend to like you. So just be really nice, really generous, be a cool roommate, clean up after yourself, make yourself valuable. He'll fight for you. You'll get on the lease. It's all going to be great. That guy's going to live out of his car, and then the world's going to end in about 9 months. So don't worry too much about anything. Okay?
And then we'll see you at Burning Man. Me and Brent are camping together at Burning Man if you want to join our camp.
Yeah, we're working.
I'll join your camp, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're working gate this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Brent's going on staff at Burning
Brent would
Man.
never go to Burning Man.
No, he wouldn't. Neither would
I would
Natasha,
actually.
It's hard to get him over to our house because we have a dog.
I actually would. I would actually go to Burning Man
for $1 million.
For $1 million.
Yeah.
That doesn't
I would do it for $1 million. But also I would. I could do it. I would wear a hazmat suit and stuff. Wait, would you go to Burning Man?
I don't need to
I
go.
hear you, girl. I know what you mean.
You guys are very compatible. All right. Good luck to you.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys and your time.
Well, we would appreciate you keeping us posted. I would love to know how this drama ends.
Yeah, I imagine it'll have some level of unfolding that'll be interesting.
I can't wait.
All right. Good luck.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Rachel.
Hopefully she can help change her type too. That would be the worst type.
Well,
a monster truck guy?
Just
a
annoying, lazy hippie.
You know what helps you change your type though? Is some behavior like this.
Right.
Like when they go, yeah, I moved out, I know, but I have never been comfortable with long distance relationships, but also I will be keeping my stuff there long term, and also I'm going to kick you out, but also wait, maybe you can stay. It makes you go like, I think I need to date different kinds of people.
Yeah, because he should be being nice to her. He fucking dumped her.
Yeah, I know.
But he's like, you need to get out of here. It's like, what? You just and you could tell she was nice. He just treated her like shit.
She would be a great mother to
I
her
would.
children.
And she's afraid that she's going to offend him. That's her main concern.
That's what I'm saying. They're still dating psychically. He's still it's not a fully oh, that's just some guy I once dated relationship. It's more of a we're still in a relationship, but it's a non-romantic weird one. And it's to the extent you can just cut that energy in half, then it just becomes a pile of stuff instead of a ghost.
I don't understand this weird thing that seems to be happening, which is men are really picky and choosy. And all these women, even on Love is Blind, all the men kind of backed out at the end. And men should be so lucky to be married. A woman takes care of everything. It is the sweetest gig for a man. It's true. It's true. Well, don't you wish you were married, Brent?
I'd love a wife.
See?
What about Rachel from the Central Coast?
I could take that.
She was cute, but I'm just saying, men should be so lucky to have a woman in their life.
It's not, that's reductive and simple. You have to want you're not marrying someone so they take care of things. You're marrying someone
I just see a lot of this type of behavior from men. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. Okay. If you would like to be on our Brent, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah.
Or anything more you wanted to say about that?
About what? Rachel or?
Yeah, Rachel.
License plates
having
or?
a wife, license plates, any parting wisdom?
I think, look, I think it is good to be a little picky. Okay. I mean, you don't want to just be with anybody. And I know the feeling of feeling grateful to have someone in your life, and that, you can't be picky about everything. I get that. I've been there. But you do have to you can't just be with anybody.
Shouldn't you be picky about the person you spend the rest of your life with?
Yeah, you should be pecky to some degree. You got to be picky to some degree. I think you got to be pecky.
Yeah, pecky.
I'm just saying, I see this thing where women are acting like, I hope I don't offend him, and they're getting treated like crap.
But honey, don't you see that women do that to men too?
Yeah.
It's just they do. Women are picky too. Everyone should be picky because you should get into a relationship and then go, this person annoys me. I don't want to be with them.
Also,
men are kind of killing it online and just like doing whatever
Men
they
are
want.
killing it online.
Whereas
What does
like
that mean?
women,
No, actually,
they're just getting like they can fuck 5 times a week if they want,
So
and then
can
the
women.
girls.
Women can fuck 10 times
But
a
the
week. if they
women
want.
want a relationship.
wait, no, it is much harder for men to find women than it is for women to find men online. Guaranteed.
That is true.
Women on these dating applications, they get.
You mean, are you talking about the apps?
VAPs?
Apps?
Apps?
Dating apps?
Oh, is that what they're called?
I was just wondering if you were calling apps applications.
I thought
and
that's.
I was like, are you 100?
I thought that's what you ordered at a restaurant before your main course was an app.
And I'll get the mozzarella sticks as an application, please.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But women on dating apps they're hit up way more than
They
men.
are flooded with.
Yeah, but then the
with
guys
messages.
just want to fuck.
The guys get nothing. They get 0 matches. If a guy is on a dating
Brent is
site
telling
for
on
a year,
himself.
if they're
a
on,
random guy,
if
a random
guy
no one in specific,
is on a dating application for 1 year, they give it a good year's try.
They keep calling it
get
an application.
0 matches.
Yeah, a random guy, an interesting guy. He likes things. He likes looking at license plates. He doesn't have a cell phone because he doesn't feel it's necessary.
I feel like a honeymooner is gonna reach out to you because you
We're
are
gonna find
such, and you've had like very hot girlfriends too.
Oh, he doesn't want that.
I mean, I guess thanks for saying that. I don't know what you mean by that.
I just think a
exactly,
lot
but-
of women are attracted to you. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, hey. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got to start filling out some applications.
Just stop talking about the license plate.
Okay,
All right,
you wanted to plug a couple things.
I just want to plug that I do this weekly live stream
All right, next
chat
call.
show with my sister Laura, and it's called the
very
Chicken.
talented musician.
And she's very funny too.
Yeah.
Hilarious. And we do this kind of live podcast thing. It's called The Chicken Coop, and it's on Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific time on my YouTube channel, Brent, which is youtube.com/Brent Weinbach.
It's live and you watch it on YouTube?
Yeah, and we interact with the people in the comment section and stuff, and
Cool.
we watch old commercials. It's a nostalgic kind of show. We talk about old stuff. We watch old commercials from the 80s a lot of times and break them down and riff on them and stuff. And we're doing a live in-person version of it for our 100th episode on April 8th at the Improv Lab.
Cool.
And that's a Monday.
I'd be honored to do it.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll keep that in mind.
And ladies and gentlemen, go see Brent Weinbach live. Go see us live. Come to our live Endless Honeymoon podcast taping on May the 4th. See me on May the 12th, et cetera, et cetera. You know what time it is. You know what fucking time it is, y'all. If you'd like to be on the podcast, Natasha, how do they get on as a guest?
You can send us an email at endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. Or if you want to leave a deep, dark, salty secret, give us a call at 213-222-8608.
Join our Patreon. We love our Patreon listeners and subscribers. YouTube.com/endlesshoneymoon. We can find us on Instagram. You can find Brent on Instagram at Brent Weinbach Comedy.
Yeah.
And
You know why?
But if
somebody's Brent Weinbach.
I couldn't get Brent Weinbach. Someone took it or something.
You know that I couldn't get Moshe Kasher at Gmail, and I couldn't get Moshe Kasher. I found the guy. I go, who's this Moshe Kasher guy? I look him up. It's some like dorky computer programmer in Israel named Moshe Kasher. I friend request the guy because what are the odds? He denied it. I'm like, I'm the big Moshe Kasher. I'm the guy. You should be so lucky.
All right. Well, thank you, Brent, because we love you.
We do love you.
Thank you. I love you too.